Inspire Academy. Hello, Inspire Project. And it's that time again. It's Tuesday, 7:02. I'm a bit late. Sorry, that's because I've been chatting on the old Inspired chat. So tonight, then, we're talking wardrobes. Now, they are our sacred spaces, more so probably for women than men. But they can give us a bit of a stress out from time to time. And they are quite simply usually a reflection of us. So when you open those wardrobe doors, what should be hanging in there should be a reflection of yourself. So I just wanted to go over a few things tonight that might help you tackle it. Some people might want to go there because you might have a massive wardrobe full of stuff, or some people might have some that just don't work together, or others might have stuff that's, there's not much in there. And with it being a seasonal swap now, so hopefully you've put your woolies away and your big coats, although I have to say, seeing the weather forecast for the weekend, they've said wintry showers, so that's a bit depressing. So maybe just keep one coat out for sure. So tonight, I just thought I'd talk about and give you some tips on how you can sort of organise it using the steps that I use when I do wardrobe weeds with clients. So firstly, obviously, because I come at it in a holistic way, so it's just not about, the clothes and what we wear as just things, that we pop on, but it's more of connecting with the person from the inside out so that we can make savvy purchases and learn about ourselves more intimately, if you like, because self-development is an important thing. It can feed into your authenticity, it can feed into your self-confidence and your self-esteem. So clothes and accessories in the outer isn't just shoppy or materialistic. It isn't for me anyway. It's about the person and connecting with the person to, make them feel better. And look better if that's what they're after. So who has, if you're watching, I've got 5 people watching, so if you want to put on the comment, who has a really cluttered or disorganized wardrobe? Feel free to put, it's okay. I see lots of wardrobes. Nothing ever phases me. You can pop that on. Maybe you have a sparse wardrobe, there's not much in it, but you wear all of it. That's another common thing. But most often than not, I tend to see wardrobes where people have bought stuff and still got the tags on. They're unworn. And if it's quite a busy wardrobe, more often than not, they've got forgotten about, or they've been bought on an impulse or other things. There are factors that we go through when we make purchases that can sometimes just end up in the wardrobe. So when I do a process, before I do a rock up to the wardrobe, I have a conversation with the client. Usually I do pre-meet and there's some other questionnaires that I do, but I try to find out from that person what they like. Maybe they have style icons or celebrities that they like the look of, what sort of clothes they generally go for, what colors they tend to go for, and I sort of get an assessment from that person of the things that they like. I have visual boards of that we go through for different wardrobe personalities, because there are 5 that I work with, and we have a dominant usually. There are crossover for different arenas, like what you wear for work as opposed to what you wear at the weekend. But there are 5 wardrobe personalities that we tend to go for. Classic is one of them. Then we have natural, which is kind of a casual. Then we have dramatic, which tends to be quite fashionable. There's one called gamine, which is very French, and it means neat and elfin-like. And the other one is called romantic, which I prefer expressive, and it tends to be more touchy-feely, creative types that like lots of detail. My plan was to have my wardrobe so I could show you all these different things, but the mechanics of my room, it just doesn't work, and I just couldn't get the camera and the light in. It was too dark, so I couldn't do it, but I'm hoping to make some videos to express that sort of thing, because it's quite interesting to find out what your dominant style personality is. based on the clothes that you buy, because they do lead into, you know, what we buy when we go shopping and we spend our money on. So a good quote to start off with from Amy Collins, it quotes, "Opening up your closet should be like arriving at a really good party where everyone you see is someone you like." So how many of us can open our wardrobe doors and think, yep, A, that's me, B, I'm happy with that and I like everything in it? The comments are silent, because it's quite an unusual thing. It's quite a big thing to achieve, especially when we have associations with clothes and things like that, which is what we'll talk about. So to help you with this spring cleaning, if you like, a mini, while we've got a bit of time, or maybe swap over from our autumn winter stuff to our spring summer stuff, I'm just going to take you through the 3 things that I tend to do, and then just give you a few tips of those challenging ones that we can't quite let go of. Okay, so I normally first, so after I've talked to the client, what I normally do is then go upstairs and we look in the wardrobe, and then I can determine whether what they've told me and what they're like matches with what's in the wardrobe. Most of the time it does, it just needs tweaking. And then other times it's totally a mismatch, which means somewhere, somehow they're not buying the right thing and it's not going with their personality, as well as it not fitting and all those other things that we'll talk about in a minute. So I have a process, okay? There's 3 piles that I ask them to do. And we have the first pile is the easy pile. So that's the stuff that we like and the stuff that we wear, okay? So that gets put into a pile, or you can just segregate it in your wardrobe. The second pile is everything that is well worn. They've just gone off it. It might be damaged, or it doesn't fit, okay? So that's pile 2. And then pile 3, I call it the iffy pile. This is the pile that doesn't go into any of those and we have problems dealing with, or we're not sure, or we can't get rid of, or whatever it is. And that's normally the most challenging pile that I deal with clients. So the process first is to start with the good stuff. And that also, we take it all out and then we put it back in. So the good pile, which is pile 1, with all the good stuff that we wear and that we like, goes back in, because in essence, that is your capsule wardrobe that you work round, okay? And that can help you make capsules out of the things that you like, and can also see what's missing. So we go through those. And that's quite good, because you think, oh, well, I have clothes left and there's stuff to deal with. That's your basic. I then go to the pile which is the doesn't fit, is the well worn, might be damaged, or they've gone off it. And they go. We try and get rid of as much of that as possible, because they're not serving you and they're taking up space. We do go through them if there's any consolations in there, but that is quite an instant gratification, because if you've got a lot of clothes, they go first. It reduces the workload, and it's like chunking it into small, piles, and you think, oh, that's quite good. I feel quite good about myself. That's sort of instant gratification, because you've got what's left and what you've liked, and you've got rid of the stuff that you could make really snap, easy decisions about. What happens then is you're left with the iffy pile, which is usually full of the challenging stuff. And this can be anything from, you think that it's something that, okay, it doesn't fit, but you might lose weight and then, or gain weight, or get the fit back. But what I try and explain is, you can't delay your happy, and it's also taking out space in your wardrobe. Looking at things that don't fit you is quite tormenting. It doesn't fill you with joy unless you are actually on a plan, currently, whether you're getting, using exercise and getting fit, and you think, right, I've got this goal and this is what I'm doing, then that's okay, because sometimes it can give you that little inspiration, as it were, that little black dress. I'm going to wear that on my holiday. That's okay. But for the most part, if it's been sat there for a while and taking up space, the best thing that I tend to advise is vacuum pack it up or pack it up and move it. Now you can put it in your loft, you can put it under your bed, you know, just to keep it. If you can't part with it, then move it, because it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And if you go back in a year's time and it's still there, you know, and you've had the following season as well, so there's no excuse there, then you need to ask yourself that question: is it time to let it go? And usually it is, because if you've forgotten about it, you tend to let it go, and it's easier to do that. So if you have things like that, I would suggest just let it go. Just move it out of your working wardrobe, your usable wardrobe space. And that would, you know, that's the best thing that I would advise. I'm not Trini and Susanna, and I'm not horrible like that. We do work through these things because I do understand that they are part of us. The other thing that sometimes I get is, well, I've spent quite a lot on that, and I know it doesn't fit me properly, but, you know, it was a £500 coat, or, you know, £70 pair of shoes or something like that. And they think that it's a waste of money. Well, if you're not wearing it now, that cost per wear, you know, that value that you have in your head is pointless. It's not cost per wear anymore. It's just sitting there, and it's actually wasting money. And it's, you know, the cost per wear is not credible. So sometimes what we encourage to do is maybe to resell it. So if it's a high quality item, you can go to, there's a lot of pre-loved places and vintage shops, okay, after we're all allowed back out, that you can sell it to online or whatever, or in a physical premise. And we've got a couple in Derby down Sadlergate, or we did have, I think we've got one now. But there are places that will take them off your hand and give you money for them when they sell them. And that way you can put the money to something else that, you know, will actually fit you. So that's something to think about. There's always eBay as well. But, you know, when you've spent money on something that's no longer, you're not wearing it, or you don't love it as much, it's nice to pass it on to someone else. And if you can get money out, you know, money back from it, then that's a good thing. So that's something else to think about when you want to let things go. The other thing that I get quite a lot is, it was an absolute bargain, I can't get rid of that. You know, it was in the sale. And so I normally say, okay, so do you wear it? No, not really. And it's normally because because it was an impulse buy, there's nothing that goes with it. So if it does fit you and you can't let it go for that reason, then that's a good time to think about other things that you can bring in around that item to create a mini capsule, because then it will go from there. So that sequin jacket you bought at Christmas, you know, you absolutely loved it because it's in the bargain or in the sale department, to think about what you can wear it with. So you can wear it with jeans, you can wear it with a vest or a t-shirt underneath or something like that, or it can go over a dress. If you haven't got those things, then that's something that you can add to your shopping list. A shopping list is a good idea as you are going through your wardrobe anyway, because when we get rid of things that maybe have gone a bit fuzzy or a bit bobbly, we can get rid of them, but make a note of them that they need replacing. So again, that goes on the shopping list. So it, you know, it just helps you going forward. So then you're not impulse buying, and you're just buying things that are you're going to get use out of. So the money thing is often the case. They're not fitting, but think they'll lose weight, gain weight, or whatever it is, or get some use out of it is a good one. The other one, the main one that I get is, and I understand this one, so I'm not mean with it, but it's the sentimentality that we have with some of our clothes in our wardrobes. You know, there could be a gift from somebody that, you know, maybe here or now past, it doesn't matter which, it's reminiscent and it's a positive association or feelings with. Good example is a wedding dress. Lots of people keep their wedding dresses. I totally understand that. I would say, you know, if you can't get in it and you want to keep it, then pack it up and put it somewhere else. Just don't keep it in your wardrobe. Or you can pass on the love and give it another bride, you know, if it's being cleaned and stuff like that. It's totally up to you. But the sentimentality of things, I do understand. But there are ways around it if you were willing to let it go. So it just take a bit of coaching, and that's up to them. But I'm more interested in the workable wardrobe. So you can take a photo of it for a start. If it doesn't fit, you can find pictures of you when you did wear it and make a nice little album out of it. We've done that before, and that makes it then sometimes easier to let it go. I've also encouraged people to repurpose things. So a good example was a lady, she had a beautiful sequined, like embroidered, like a little shrug jacket thing, which she absolutely loved. She couldn't wear it, she couldn't get in it anymore, and I think she wore it on some special occasion. She just couldn't part with it. So what we did is we got a seamstress to repurpose it, and we made it into a little foldable clutch because it was so beautiful and so delicate, and and lined, and so she could use it, for going out with a plain dress or something. So it was black, so it had got sequins and coloured embroidery on, and it was beautiful. So she could still use it by repurposing it. So if you know anybody that's a pretty handy seamstress or is a bit crafty, then you could do that. You can use parts of it as well to be made into other garments. There's always something that you can do. And obviously the other alternative is to gift it or pass it down as if it was an heirloom. That's another way. So at least it's still within your family or within your confines or whatever it is. Or you can again pack it up nicely and pop it somewhere else. Again, we just want to make a bit more space. So it's just about being kind to yourself and not forgetting about the things, and don't feel guilty, but actually repurposing it. So that's always a nice thing to do. So there was just a few of the things that are often can be quite challenging with that iffy pile. And it's something that we can work through in our own wardrobes or shoe boxes or jewelry boxes. It can be adapted anywhere. If you use the 3-pile principle and just do it in little chunks, say one day do that, second day do that, or you might want to blitz a lot. It's up to you. It depends on how you see the challenge, okay? Making it smaller and chunking it up is a lot easier. So if you can ask yourself why it's iffy, that's really helpful. And whether you wear it or anything like that. Good things to think about as well are occasional wear as well, if people keep hold of, which I understand. If it doesn't fit, it needs to go or be resold. But with occasion wear, it's an interesting one. It can be a bit like the old wedding dress thing. You've got to think about where you're going to be wearing it again. I mean, how many more weddings or other things like that? Can you repurpose it? Can you maybe wear it with something else? That's another thing. Each object, we give its own valuation, its own need or whatever it is. Why do I like it? And really question before we can let it go, pass it on, rework it, or put it back in the wardrobe. Okay, we don't have to get rid of everything now and again straight away. So that's the sort of mini process on some of the challenges. Other little things for your management of your wardrobe might help. So if you have a lot of stuff in your wardrobe and you're not actually, or you like to see results and you like practical things, I would suggest taking everything out of your wardrobe and hanging it backwards. Okay, so when you wear it, and you wash it and iron it and you put it back in your wardrobe, you put it back in the right way. And this will give you a really good idea of what you are wearing and what you are not wearing. So if for instant results, you can do that and try it. And then that might help you think, okay, that needs other things to go with it because I'm not wearing it. Why am I not wearing it? Do I not like it? Whatever. Okay, so if it doesn't fit, it goes. But like I was saying, there are a few little things that you can do. It's proof in the pudding at the end of the day. If you're not wearing it, it's taking up space. So you can do one of the things that I've considered. But try the wardrobe hanger things. And the other thing about hangers as well is please, please, please do not use the wire ones, the thin wire ones, because on knitwear especially, you'll get like is it Dynasty? Yeah, it's Dynasty shoulders, because it puckers and messes with the fibres and it just puts them out of shape. So if you can get the velvet coated, the quite thick ones, or wooden hangers, that's a lot better. Please don't use wire hangers. They totally misshape everything, especially if you're one of these people that washes it, dries it, and then puts it straight in a hanger without ironing it, which is totally fine. But that's when you get sort of wonky levels and then you get the old shoulder bubbles. So, you know, try for better hangers. The other thing is, don't think that you are immune to moths. Everybody gets moths. I've had moths. It doesn't mean you're dirty or anything like that. It's just that moths absolutely love animal fibres. So that's feathers, leather, felt, wool, silk, fur. What else would be? Linen, cotton. Oh, yeah, no, cotton's not. But so animal fibres. They love it, okay? And they will eat it. And you won't know until you take it out and it looks like Swiss cheese. So you can buy, obviously, you can buy the mothballs, but thank God don't smell like that awful mothball smell. They come in sachets. But if you like essential oils, lavender, they can't stand, and they can't stand cedar either. So if you want, you can get little wooden bolter balls, and you can put essential oils on there. And, you know, that will keep them away as well. Or you can cover them in, like, you know, you can get garment covers and you can get suit covers. So that's another thing to be wary of as well. I don't know when it's rife. I think, is it summer? I don't know if it's a seasonal thing, but they will just come and go, and they'll just keep coming. Once they're happy and they know they've got food, they'll just stay, and then you'll end up with little holes in things. So yeah, be wary of moths. Also, obviously, I say obviously, I've seen it before and I have done it on a few times. If you've got anything sequiny or beady, don't put it next to knitwear, because they're like toddlers in a ball pit. They'll just pull, and it, you know, it'll start fluffing up and pulling things. Try and keep them separate or cover them up. Suit bags, that sort of thing. Your shoes, try and keep them together. Some people like shoe boxes. It depends how many you have and how much room you have. But the one thing that I will say is, if you have leather boots or knee boots, or, you know, the quite tall ones, you don't have to invest in those tall, clippy, they're like shoe boot. I don't know what the proper word is. They're like clips where you fill them. If you have a pool noodle and just cut it in half, you can stick them in the boots and they will keep them upright, especially if they're leather and you've spent money on them. They'll still crease, and leather expands and detracts and it can crack. So buy a pool noodle and cut it in half and stick it in your long boots, and that will get more wear out of them for a bit longer. And it's a cheap alternative to buying those posh wooden, I don't even know what they're called, but try it. It's really good. The last thing really I just want to talk about is the other challenges with wardrobes is some people have uneven use of wardrobes. So they'll have more social out gear, which isn't getting used as much at the moment, sadly. Workwear, and then stuff they wear at home or for their hobbies or their fitness. And you can put them all together, and some things you can cross over for sure. You can definitely dress up things and dress down things. So sometimes don't think you need to categorize them. Oh, that's for going out, that's for work, because sometimes they can cross over. Blazers with skinny jeans, for example, you know, that's dressing up and dressing down. You can get an out outfit from that, if you see what I mean. So, you know, don't keep things for best, and think about how you can mix them. I mean, if you're ordering your wardrobe anyway, when you've got all your clothes that you like, if you put them into garments, so all your tops, all your dresses, and all your trousers and all your skirts, you can order it that way, or you can order them in colour. It's totally up to you. If you order, the advantages of ordering them, if you put all the colours together, all your navies, your pinks, your whites, or your neutrals, your reds, you know, depends what you've got. You can see where there are gaps. And sometimes when you put colours together, you think, oh, I didn't think about that would go with each other, because there might be a similar colour family. So sometimes if you mix them about a bit with the colours, you get some inspirations of what you can wear with what. And also with your separates, you can see what's missing or you know, you might have 9 pairs of black jeans and you think, don't really need to buy any more, maybe go for a different color. So how you organize your wardrobe can actually help you buying in the future as well, and not just go for the impulse buying it in the sales. So, you know, it will help you in the future, just to give it a little organization while you have a bit of downtime. Okay, we might as well, and it is self-development at the end of the day, because we're finding out about ourselves and what we like and what we don't like, if you've seen. So I think, was there anything else? If you've got any questions, because I want to talk about capsule wardrobes really, but without my wardrobe and demonstrating, it's a bit difficult. So normally if you have 2 to 3 of a top, 2 to 3 of a bottom, that can be 2 trousers, 2 skirts, and then a couple of layering like cardigans or a blazer, and then just have an outerwear and 2 dresses, and then just have neutral necklace. So when I say neutral, I mean a metallic. So whether that's rose gold, silver or gold, they will all work with each other. But like I say, it's quite difficult to do. I would suggest, if you want to start a capsule wardrobe, start with your most favorite thing that you wear a lot and work it out from there, because then you'll get a mini capsule with that one item you get a lot of wear out of, and then that will give you inspiration and colors, and then it sort of goes like that existentially, and then you get more of a wardrobe capsule. Okay, so I'm here. You can ask me any comments if you've got any problems. Wardrobes are a tricky thing. They're also beautiful things, and you have a lot of things in there that you can be really grateful for. So don't forget about them. If you want to do the hoovering in your, you know, your little black dress, do it. They will get an outing soon, but for now, just give them a bit of love while you have them, and if you've got a bit of time to go through and do some sorting. Okay, so that's my bit this week. I hope you found some of those tips helpful. Next week, I'm going to be talking about what to look for and get a better fit with certain bits of our bodies that we normally find challenging. So we'll go for upper arms, bums, tums, and the girls' boobs. Okay, so I'll throw some tips out there for trying to find a better fit. Okay, so that's for me. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and good night.